Well, we adopted in 2001. We had gone the fertility route. That didn't work. We looked into foster adoption here. Well, we actually looked into adoption, just adoption of baby, and we were told that, quite frankly, at our age, we were in our late 30s at that point. We were older than that. We were late 30s when we got married. We were in our 40s. And they said, you know, the likelihood that some girl that's 18 is going to relinquish to someone who is the age of her parents is not high. And adoption used to be where if you get on the list, you will eventually be picked because you move up. Well, now because of open adoptions in the U.S., you go into your book and they pick. So you may never be picked. You may be picked the first day you put a book out. So we were not given any hope there. So we looked into foster adoption. And we were told at the time that children were usually around 3 or 4 years old by the time that parental rights were relinquished. There was usually serious emotional damage by then. I've got a sister who's mentally disabled who lives with us part-time, and I just didn't feel like we could risk bringing a child in that could harm her. So then we started looking at international. And we were led to Guatemala. We wanted a healthy baby, and Guatemala was known as having healthy infants. They had really the gold standard of foster care because 90% of the children went to foster parents, private foster parents. Our agency actually took diapers and formula out every week and checked on the baby. Baby got monthly wellness visits. Of course, if they got sick, they got taken. Our doctor was incredible down there. Dr. Montiel is actually a pediatric neurologist, and he sent us photographs every month. So unlike a lot of international adoptees, we have pictures of Letty from the time she was 3 weeks old. So we got a medical report and 5 or 6 pictures every single month, which was wonderful. And then several of us got together and we formed this adoption fair where we did domestic foster care and all the different international adoption agencies. And did that, I guess, 3 or 4 years. We went down in January of 2002 and visited her. And everybody said, oh, isn't it going to be hard to leave her there? And I said, you know, it was hard, but we met her foster mother and foster sister who were wonderful. And we felt very comfortable that they would take care of her and that the process would get finished. And then we went back and picked her. We were there about 4 days. And they would bring her to the hotel every day, and we'd get to have her for 3 or 4 hours. And it was just really wonderful. Just, you know, a little bitty baby, and just hold on to her, and she'd cuddle up and sleep, and we'd feed her a bottle. I was horrified. I will tell you that we actually had another referral first. We first started there, little girl named Flor de Maria. And I thought, oh, Flower of Mary, I'm a florist, must be a sign. And we actually went and visited her, and we found out right before we left that they had not done the DNA test. Guatemala, actually the U.S. Requires a DNA test of the woman relinquishing to prove that she is the birth mother. So that test had not yet been done, and I said, well, maybe we shouldn't come yet. And he goes, oh, you know, the facilitator, oh, it's fine, she's committed to this adoption, everything's fine, come on. So we went down, we held this little baby and, you know, really fell in love with her. And then came back, and about 3 weeks later got an email from him that they'd done the DNA and that was not her mother, and that the Department of Minors had taken this child, and that we couldn't know anything about where she was. I mean, it just broke our hearts. I mean, you can imagine holding that little baby and then being told she's gone. We don't know whatever happened to her. So we knew that the process worked. I mean, that's the one good thing that came out. We knew that a non-biological mother can't pass a child off on her own because it's not, the DNA won't match. So